Hello everyone, welcome to the training Foam Control Technologies for Solventborne and UV Systems. My name is Sumin Yang and I'm working in BL Coatings Additives in Applied Technology Department. So, what is foam? Foam is a stable dispersion of gas in liquid. Usually, stable foam does not form in pure surfactant-free liquid, but rather they are stabilized by the surfactants inside the coating film. There are two types of foams. One is the microfoam, the other type is macrofoam. Macrofoam, on the left side, you see, is present on the surface of the coating film. They're surrounded by double-layered surfactants, which are also called duplex layer and lamella, foam lamella. On the other hand, on the right side, you see microfoam inside the coating film. These are rather small foam, and they're found inside the coating film, surrounded by one layer of surfactants. Here's a real-life example of microfoam and macrofoam. On the left side, you see macrofoam on the surface of the liquid, and inside the liquid, you see microfoam, the smaller bubbles, inside the coating film. And these are combated usually by our TEGO Airex for macrofoam, bigger bubbles, and for smaller bubbles, microfoam, the TEGO Airex. So there are numerous ways where the foam can appear. For example, they can appear during the grinding stage, or by the raw materials like pigments and other binders, and also during the applications like spraying application and curtain coating application and so on. Why do we want to avoid the foam? What are the negative impacts of foaming? Because it disturbs and delays the production process. Not only that, it affects and disturbs the application process. And also, it creates surface defects like Deaerators, pinholes, and turbidity. Here's a nice picture that shows the mechanism of foam destruction. You see after the incorporation of the defoamer, you see these small droplets, insoluble droplets, which will then enter into the duplex layer on the top of the surface of the liquid, and they will eventually spread between the surfactants and destroying the bubble. The ideal defoamer or deaerator should have some of the properties as following. For example, they should have low surface energy. They should enforce the dissolution of microbubbles, for example, the TEGO Airex. And they should de-wet the surfactants. And they should have the ability to penetrate into the foam lamella and spread, just like the picture I showed you in the previous slide. That means they have to be partially insoluble and have the optimum droplet size. Here's a nice video that shows the dissolution of microfoam in a clear coat. On the left, you see without deaerator, and on the right, you see with deaerator, for example, our TEGO Airex types. At 0 minute, which means right after the incorporation of the deaerator, you see already significant difference. On the left, you see more microfoams than on the right side. As time passes, this was taken under the microscope. You see the significant reduction on the right side with deaerator. And after about 25 minutes, you see nothing. There are two important parameters for selecting the right defoamer or deaerator. One of them is effectiveness, and the other one is compatibility. You want to have as efficient defoamer or deaerator as possible. But at the same time, you want to have a good compatibility, which means you want to have no influence in the system. On the picture left side, you see 4 bottles. The far left shows very good compatibility, and on the far right side, you see bad compatibility, which we do not want to have in the system. To check the compatibility, what we sometimes do is we apply the paint with a drawdown bar on a substrate. This helps us to observe the surface defects, for example, craters, poor leveling, and loss in gloss. On the left side, you see in the picture poor compatibility, which we want to avoid. On the right side, we see excellent compatibility, very nice leveling, which we want to eventually have. The application also has an influence on choosing the right defoamer or deaerator. For example, if you have strong shear forces applications, such as pneumatic, airless, air mix spraying, you would prefer to have stronger defoamer or deaerator with strong effect and persistency. On the other hand, if you have lower shear forces applications like curtain coatings, dipping, brushing, roller floating, etc., then you would rather have more compatible, which means less effective, but easy to incorporate defoamers and deaerators. Here's a nice picture of the pinhole issues that are usually generated by spray application. We can avoid this issue by adding 0.3% of our TEGO Airex types. These are usually caused by microfoams, and TEGO Airex types are usually to combat the microfoams. In order to give the right recommendation to the customer, we have to ask the following questions. What kind of system is this? Is this a solvent-borne, waterborne, or UV? And the production type. Are we incorporating the additive inside the grinding stage or at the letdown stage? And the type of resin. Is it acrylic, alkyd, epoxy? And what's inside the formulation also matters a lot. For example, the types of the fillers or the pigments, whether it's a glossy or matte, it all matters. What also has an influence is the application, just like I showed you in the previous slide. And depending on the foam type, whether it's a macrofoam or microfoam, you have to use either TEGO Airex or TEGO Foamix. Therefore, we can conclude that there's no universal recommendation that works in every single formulation. These are the delivery forms of the defoamers and deaerators. We supply them in concentrate form, 100% usually, and emulsion form and solution form. But for solvent-borne, usually we use the concentrate and solution form only. This is a nice overview of our portfolio for defoamers and deaerators for solvent-borne and UV systems. We have about 12 products, and you can see this list in our website, coatingsadditives.com. Now we are moving on to highlights. On the list, we find TEGO Airex 900, 920, 931, 990, and 991. Now, starting with TEGO Airex 900. This is a very strong deaerator concentrate that combats both microfoam and macrofoam. This is usually delivered in liquid form, and the active matter content is 100%. We would recommend this Airex 900, usually in high solid and high viscosity system, usually for solvent and UV systems. What's so special about this Airex 900 is that because it's listed on the A and B list for Swiss ordnance, we can use it for direct food contact. But be careful because we have to use this in a high shear force to incorporate them into the system. Some of the application recommendations are listed below: self-leveling flow coating, brush roller application, or flexogravure printing, etc. When we are positioning them in a compatibility and efficiency graph, you'll find it far down right side. It's of course it's very efficient defoamer, but at the same time you have to be careful with the compatibility. This is a great example that shows excellent deaeration power with TEGO Airex 900. In the picture, you see on the right side, by adding 0.5% of TEGO Airex 900, you see significant improvement in terms of deaeration. Here's another example of TEGO Airex 900 in thin UV coating system. In this particular roller application, you can significantly see the improvements in terms of deaeration. Therefore, it is safe to say TEGO Airex 900 works best for both matte and pigmented system and also for high gloss thin layers. Now, moving on to TEGO Airex 920. TEGO Airex 920 is special because it is mainly used for UV system. The silicone-free Deaerator is especially recommended for clear system due to its outstanding compatibility promotion. Since they're listed on the A and B list of the Swiss ordinance, it is also safe to use for packaging. The delivery form of this product is liquid concentrate, and it is constructed of 100% active matter content. This Deaerator is mainly used in UV systems of wood coatings and printing inks. Now, in this compatibility and efficiency graph, we will position TEGO Airex 920 in the middle. It is not as efficient as formerly presented TEGO Airex 900, but is highly compatible in UV coating systems. The next Deaerator we would like to present is TEGO Airex 931. Unlike the other Deaerators from the highlights list, this Deaerator is provided in solution form. It is solution of a fluorescent fluorosilicon with only 1% of active matter content. We like this Deaerator because it is an universal Deaerator, and it is not only effective against micro and macrofoam, but also provides good combination of high efficiency and good compatibility. One thing I would like to highlight on this product is that because it is a solution, it is quite easy to incorporate into the system. This cannot be used in UV systems, but are more recommended for pigment and solvent-borne systems. Among the 5 highlighted products, this is ranked as the second place in terms of compatibility. It is not the most efficient Deaerator, but it is a nice universal Deaerator mainly for wood and industrial coatings. TEGO Airex 931 is especially strong against microfoam. As you can see in the picture, you see some whitening effect due to microfoams in clear coat. But by using TEGO Airex 931, you can see better results on the far right corner. TEGO Airex 990 is made up of organic polymers with just a tip of silicone. This is one of my favorites because it is both highly compatible and highly efficient. This Deaerator is delivered in liquid concentrate form and is recommended for high solid and high viscosity solvent-borne systems. Because it is highly compatible, it is safe to use in both clear and pigmented coatings. It is very important to note that it is one of the first recommendations for spraying application, roller application, and self-leveling floor coatings application. This efficient but compatible Deaerator will be positioned on the top middle corner of the graph. Remember, it is suitable for all types of spraying application. If you do not want to have any pinholes while applying with a roller, TEGO Airex 990 is a safe bet. Here are some pictures without any Deaerators, with our competitors' Deaerators, and 0.5% of our TEGO Airex 990. You definitely see improvements in terms of pinhole issues when you evaluate them under a microscope. This Deaerator is also perfect for eliminating entrapped air, especially for clear, high gloss, and high solid formulations. the pictures show clear differences. You see clear differences between with and without TEGO Airex 990. Just by adding 0.3% of this additive, we were able to eliminate the microbubbles completely. This test was done by spray application on black PMMA substrates. Again, these two pictures show how compatible this TEGO Airex 990 is. On the right side, you see some defects that are looking like orange peels. However, with our product in, you barely see any craters. So, perfect flow and leveling. This test was again done by spray application on black PMMA substrates. Here's a video of TEGO Airex 990. This video will show you some of the ways we check compatibility and efficiency of the deaerator. Now we are preparing high solid coating. After that, we're now just adding 0.5% of the reference deaerator. Here's TEGO Airex 990. We're adding exactly the same amount, 0.5%. And as you can see, we barely see any changes for TEGO Airex 990. This is only one way of checking the compatibility. Now we're moving on to checking efficiency and compatibility after spraying the material. After spraying, when we observe it under the microscope, we see that TEGO Airex 990 destroys microbubble a lot faster than the blank sample. Here's what it looks like under the microscope. On the left side, you see the blank sample. On the right side, you see TEGO Airex 990. Once the paint is dried, we can observe whether the deaerator is compatible or not. From this paint, we don't see any defects. Therefore, we can conclude that TEGO Airex 990 is very compatible. Here's a good example of TEGO Airex 990 with great compatibility. On the left side, you see some craters by adding 0.3% of the competitors, and on the right side, by adding 0.3% of TEGO Airex 990, you see no haze, no craters, no influence on turbidity, and no pinhole effects. The last but not least, I would like to present to you our TEGO Airex 991. This is a rather similar chemistry as TEGO Airex 990, but performs somewhat differently. If you think of TEGO Airex 990 as more compatible deaerator, then TEGO Airex 991 is more efficient deaerator concentrate. This is especially recommended for high solid and high viscosity solvent-borne systems. Due to its possible incompatibilities, we would recommend the product for pigmented systems. This deaerator is mainly used in industrial coatings. And please keep in mind that it needs high shear force to be well distributed in the system, which can also mean it is an excellent choice for airless spraying application. Since it is slightly more compatible and tiny bit more efficient than TEGO Airex 900, we would position this product there. Please be aware this positioning can vary significantly depending on the system. This graph has been generated from average data. Without any deaerators inside the system, you may observe a lot of popping and pinhole issues. However, With this TEGO Airex 991, you see significant improvements on the surface quality. 0.5% of the additive was used in this particular high solid 2-component polyurethane top coat. As I mentioned earlier, this product is excellent for airless spraying application. You see significant reduction of microfoam in the system with our additives in, after applied with airless spraying application. With that was it. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any further questions, feel free to visit our website or contact us directly. Thank you. Bye-bye.